What is going on, everyone? Welcome to Party on Broad. The Eagles free agency period continues, but we're going to take a break. We're going to have some fun tonight. Instead of breaking everything down like we always do, draft free agency-wise, regarding the Philadelphia Eagles, we're talking the greatest Eagles plays of all time. We're holding a draft. We're going to be doing a snake draft of basically 1 through 16. We're each going to have 16 picks. And we're going to throw it into a giant 64 seed bracket. And it's going to be voted on and all that kind of stuff. It's going to be a blast. Joining us, Ryan Reese at Philly Sports PSA. What's up, Ryan?
Not much, man. Ready to figure this whole thing out, man. I got to tell you, I have zero strategy. I have no idea what I'm doing. I just know I thought of 64 plays that took me a few days to figure out. So
confidence. I haven't beaten Ryan in one of these shows in quite some time, so I like where this has started. Also joining us, Rob Lange at Philly_Madness. What's up, Rob?
It looks like the Eagles didn't want us to do this today, hence why they made a signing finally that people would have wanted to talk about, but we're going to skip it. I am excited for this. I have been very excited for this. When we decided to do it, Ryan and Dives will tell you that the first day that we decided to start looking for picks, I think in about an hour and a half, 2 hours, I sent them my 64 plays that I had already come up with. So I am pumped to see which 64 make the field when all four of us are involved here today.
Awesome. And then special guest joining us. He is David at PHL Eagle News on X, man. Does amazing work with Philly Sports Network with his writing. PhillyCoverCorner.com if you love analytics and the draft and everything in between with the Philadelphia Eagles. What's up, David?
What's going on, man? You're too kind. Well, I'm going to take a page out of Ryan's previous victories. I made a list as well, but my first 25 are all linebacker plays because I know that wins these polls, man. So all of my favorite plays are linebackers just trashing people. So we'll see how good I finally do in this.
I love it. That's exactly where my head's at as well. I'm not. Yeah, we'll get into it. We'll get into it. We have a long show, guys. So we're gonna get right into this thing. First, some comments. Big Sarge, what's going on? What is going on? Ojulari, super excited. I dropped the short on Ojulari. Go check it out. Quick thoughts. What's up, Krabby? I'm excited. Krabby kind of will bring the heat sometimes. Bring the heat on our picks. Greatest play should be Saquon promising the Giants he would give them the chance to match. What walk-in closet is Rob seeing?
Walk-in closet. You wish you had a room like this, Marshawn.
All right, let's jump into this thing.
Doesn't miss. I love it.
Let's jump right into this. So keep the comments, guys. We will be showing them. I've got the plays as well, so I'll have the plays going in the background. We're going to make this a snake draft, and this will determine who has what pick and so forth. Let's get it started. Good luck, guys.
Luck? I don't need luck.
Ryan.
Shocker.
Obviously. Don't need luck.
I kind of wanted that pick.
Oh.
All
right, Dives. I mean, listen, you're gonna let me do this, or you're gonna already write in names and stuff?
We have Team Rob. Pick
hey, there you go, buddy.
I am not last for the first time ever.
All right.
Look, at this point, I'd rather the fourth pick than the third pick.
I was going to say, absolutely.
All right. I get number 3. Sorry, David. You got number 4 here.
So I go back to back, right?
You're going to go back to back. Yep.
All right.
Ryan, with the first overall pick, man, where are you going?
Listen, I don't know if I like this personally. Because it's really hard to kind of factor everything in, and I mean, I feel like, and Marshawn's probably right here, I feel like I kind of have to go with the Philly special. It was such an iconic play in the biggest stage, the biggest balls on Doug and Nick. And they call it in a pivotal moment that won them the game, essentially. So Yeah, I gotta go there. I don't know if that's necessarily the greatest play ever, but that's where my head's at.
Philly special to Team Ryan. I'm excited to see how these things play. Marshawn saying, "Here's me hoping Rob doesn't go with the Sam Bowie pick." What?
Meaning I'm going to make a terrible pick when there's something else on the board, which
Yeah.
I may be doing, Marshawn. I may be doing.
All right, Philly special to Ryan. Next up, Rob. Where are you going?
All right, so I was not planning on going this pick now, but David has me scared, and the fact that he's got 2 picks before I pick again is making me push this pick up the board. All right, I'm going old school, baby. Give me Chucky Concrete Charlie destroying Frank Gifford and then standing over him to yell, "This effing game is over." It's the iconic photo. Everyone loves it. I'm going Chucky Bednarik.
Love it.
It would have definitely been one of my 2.
Yeah, I'm not letting it wait. I'm not waiting on it.
Yeah, I was, believe me, that was definitely one that I was thinking about.
Yeah.
Man, Krabby, a lot of people like that. I'm going to go. I'm going for the W here. I think
You're gonna go with old. You're gonna go with old Curly.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
My first overall selection will be the Cooper DeJean pick 6.
Oh, let's go with the recency bias.
Yeah.
I'm going for the W. That was the play that won it, in my opinion. The play that made me freak out the most during the Super Bowl. Just a special moment. Cooper DeJean's birthday, Cooper DeJean's first interception. I mean, you could just go on and on how special that play was. But especially against Patrick Mahomes, the dreaded Patrick Mahomes, it was just a legendary moment. Give me Cooper DeJean pick 6. David, you go back to back.
All right, I'm going with what I truly do think is the greatest play in Eagles history. I'm surprised it fell all the way to me, but I'm going with the BG strip sack. I remember everyone just exploding in joy and happiness when that play happened. Yeah. Granted, Brady did get the ball again and put a little scare in everybody with throwing it, for a Hail Mary attempt there. But that was the play in my eyes that sealed the victory for the Philadelphia Eagles to win their first ever Super Bowl. So give me that one. And then I'll play off of that, and I'm going to go with the craziest stadium reaction I've ever felt in my entire life when the place just exploded after Patrick Robinson did a pick 6 in the NFC Championship game. I have never felt a stadium shake like that in my entire life. So give me that. Those are my 2 top ones that are left.
Nice.
Yeah, Robinson pick 6.
Oh, wow.
Awesome.
It was the loudest I heard that stadium. I was in that stadium a lot. That was by far the loudest. Now, I haven't been there last couple of years, but that one was loud.
Yeah, it went insane. Plus, they were losing when that happened. I mean, we were about to say, "Oh my God, here it comes again. We're losing another championship game," and boom,
it shook in there.
It did.
Sure did.
All right, I didn't expect this, but I got to do it. I'm surprised it went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 picks. Give me the dagger from Devontae Smith and Jalen Hurts. The Nick Sirianni
started writing it before you even said it.
Exactly. It was just an iconic moment. And I think Devontae Smith will get votes. I think people love that dude. Give me the dagger. Go ahead, Rob.
I'm going to stay a little old. Not as old as I went with the first pick, but I'm going to go back to the 90s and the dreaded Cowboys here with Barry Switzer. And the officials decided to give them basically 2 chances from 4th and inches. And Barry Switzer calls the same play back to back. And the famous Merrill Reese, they stop him again. I'm going 4th and inches against Dallas to win the game. Just another iconic play in Eagles history.
Definitely.
All right.
We're going a lot faster than I thought we would. Good job, guys.
Because you yelled at us before the show.
Yeah, you did.
I promise I'm going to make shorts out of these with highlights and voting and stuff. So I promise.
See, the best thing about this play was that they were like, "Oh, we forgot it was the 2-minute warning," and then they just redid the play.
Like, whoops. All right. Well, listen. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go here back-to-back picks and give me the Miracle at the Meadowlands #1 and
Wow.
number 2.
Well,
The,
wait,
Going back
which,
to the
which,
Well,
which
okay.
one are
The
you considering
official
number
Herm
2?
Edwards one, and then the Deshaun Jackson one.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. You got it.
Believe me, I've heard like Brian Westbrook is, that one's called one of them, and the Clyde Simmons blocked field goal is called one of them. There's, whatever. Call it whatever you want, but the Miracle with Herm and the Miracle with Deshaun Jackson punt return, both of those are iconic. I have pictures of them both here down in the man cave. I absolutely need to be on here.
Hold the phone, Ryan. For the first time in the history of our show, Marshawn has complimented.
No.
That is a
I feel like there's a butt coming.
There will one on my next pick, probably, but that's okay. So right now, we got it. All right. I feel like I got to get a little more recent, okay? Because I've been very old school here early. And listen, the play didn't go for a touchdown or anything like that. But when Saquon Barkley hurdles a man backwards,
damn it.
that has got to be a play that lives in Eagles folklore forever. So I'll take the Saquon leap.
Great one.
Yeah. That was the one I was considering going because I knew it was never going to come back to me.
Yeah.
That was a really good pick. I think Ryan, I think Ryan knows where I'm going with this one. He's my favorite player on the Eagles by far. And the Eagles don't even get to the Super Bowl if it wasn't for him. I thought the fact that he wasn't even on like top 10 MVP vote, defensive player of the year voting is ridiculous. Give me Jalen Carter's sack on Matthew Stafford in the playoffs. Just an iconic moment, a legendary moment, and many more to come. I'm going to go Jalen Carter for my pick.
I have a question, and I feel a very serious question that anybody can answer here. Does Dives know that the Eagles played before this year? Like we do 1933, buddy, and on is all in this. So, however you want to do it.
I'm going with my rankings, man. David.
No, you're going with you were desperately trying to win.
Yes.
So I'm back to back again.
Reach on the miracle, the first miracle, just because you weren't old enough to know about it.
Giants should have nailed it.
But no one's gonna know like who picks what when it's voting. I'm not gonna put it up like Team Rock.
No, right? Obviously,
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I would hope people
voting
aren't
for their play.
right. Hopefully, people aren't voting that way. Because
at the end of the day, I just want to get the plays that I want in the field. That's what I'm thinking.
Same,
Absolutely.
same. All right, David, you're back to back, buddy.
All right, I'm going with the play that finally, when the Philadelphia Eagles finally overcame the dreaded Dallas Cowboys to get to a Super Bowl. They had been the whipping boy for years and years and years, and they finally get to their first Super Bowl on the strength of Wilbert Montgomery's 42-yard touchdown run. So give me that play.
Nice.
And I will go.
Don't do it, David. Don't do it. Don't do it, man.
Do it, David.
The only ones I can take from you is recency bias picks. But I have to get one in there. I'm going with the Saquon in the snow head slapper against the Rams.
Okay.
What should have sealed the game, but didn't, and scared the hell out of all of us in the stands. But we thought the game was over when that happened, but clearly was not.
That might have been honestly one of the coolest plays to be in the stands. I was right in towards the end zone. He's running towards us, and like you just felt the whole stadium when he started slapping his head. Oh my God! Like I feel like I just blacked out from awesomeness.
I loved his comment. They asked him why he did it. He said, "I don't know. I don't even remember doing it. I have no idea what I was doing."
Yeah, see? Everybody's blacking out. Yeah, exactly. Dives cheats.
Well, no, I don't. No, I don't.
Oh, Curly.
All right. I'm on the clock here, and I'm so happy David didn't take it. I'm not going with a play from 2024. Yeah, it's a miracle. But I'm going to go with my favorite safety ever. I'm going with his most iconic moment ever. Give me the B-Dog hit on Algie Crumpler. I think that's going to get a shit ton of views. Everyone loves B-Dog. NFC Championship game. I still can't believe he held on to that ball to begin with, but there's a lot of plays. Go ahead.
You want to know what's funny about that play? 2 plays later, Warwick Dunn scores to tie the game. No one ever remembers that because the hit was so iconic.
I got to go B-Dog, who obviously people are going to vote a lot for.
All right, back to me. I'll keep it somewhat recent, but I'm not fully. But look, the Brandon Graham strip sack was an amazing play, right? But if the Eagles don't score on the drive right before that, it doesn't matter. And it's Zach Ertz flying into the end zone. Then we had to listen to Chris Collingsworth and Al Michaels make up some bullshit that it may not be a catch when it clearly was.
Well, here's the guy. Everybody's talking about Pittsburgh tight end.
Touchdown Zach Ertz, man. Touchdown Zach Ertz. I'm giving it to him.
Nice.
That was, by the way, my highest ranked play remaining.
There we go.
Yep. Ryan, back to back.
I love how you have them you ranked. I just
mine are definitely ranked. Yeah.
That's the chaos to which I am working under.
Marshawn says Rob is dropping a 50-point triple-double.
Just the greatest day of my life.
Oh, well, listen, we all got to.
I didn't say I lived a great life, guys.
Yeah, clearly. I'm going to go with a play that I think is, for me, pretty iconic when I think of kind of the 2000s. And I'm going to go with Donovan McNabb's 14.2 second scramble in 2004 versus the Cowboys. Throws to Fred X. And what a great play. That's kind of more of a personal favorite. Let's see. Scramble. Let's see, what else do I got here? I also have to take a look at some of these that have already been taken up. I just hope again that some of these make it back to me because I do have some really good ones. But I'm gonna go with the just because again it was such an iconic play to open up the season. The Vic to D-Jax for 88 yards, 2010 versus Washington on Monday night, 59-21.
Great play.
It's absolute. Oh, snap! Well, look at that. Now it's not. And it was 88 yards. But anyway, pick to D-Jax.
Well, I think I'm up, right?
Yes, you are.
I don't want to go too fast. If you want to get some plays up on the screen here, Dibes, so I'll slow down if you need me to.
No, there's no way. I thought I made 75 clips of plays to do this. There's no way I can manage my screen and then uploading all these videos. It's just impossible. We're going way faster than I imagined, but right, I'm happy for it.
I'm going to take a play that I'm probably taking a little early, but Dibes talked about the McNabb scramble. And people forget that a play like that happened years earlier, and that was when Randall Cunningham did it against the Bills. The only difference was he fires the ball from the end zone. Fred Barnett catches it about 65 yards downfield, breaks a tackle, and scores a touchdown on the play. And if you put those plays next to each other, they look so damn similar in that both quarterbacks roll right and then come back left before firing the ball down the field. So I'll take the Randall scramble against Buffalo for the TD pass.
That's a good one. Rob's got a really good balance so far. Not like me.
No.
All right. I'm rushing to the podium to make this selection.
Oh boy.
I am going with the flea flicker touchdown to Torrey Smith.
Nice. I thought about that.
I mean, I'm going to continue my trend of picking lovable guys like B-Doc and Devontae and BDN here. That was a dime, a 41-yard touchdown pass in the Super Bowl against the Patriots. Yeah, that's where I'm going.
Nice.
David.
So I'm back to back again, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm going with the layup here. I don't even know how it's still there, but I'm taking the 4th and 26 to Fred X.
Ah, son of a.
The divisional round against the Packers. I mean, that play is just insane. I mean, you can just say 4th and 26, Fred X. You can make a imagery with the belt. Everybody knows the play without having to say a damn word. So it's got to be that. And then on my next one, I'm going to show some love to the best safety in franchise history. I'm going with the Dawkins fake punt touchdown versus the Texans.
All right,
Well
played.
That game, he did something crazy. I can't remember what he had, a sack, an interception.
He had a sack, a pick, a touchdown,
A fumble recovered.
fumble recovery. Yeah, it was insane. I remember that game.
Yeah, I was there, man.
Because again, it was the first time I ever saw the Texans, and Dawkins was like, "Yeah, welcome to the NFL, bitch."
All right. Also, running up to the podium here, I'm going to continue my trend and go with a linebacker. I can't believe it's still available. But the moment I'm talking about is the Zach Bond interception on Patrick Mahomes. Not just the interception, but it's him sitting and talking about getting the interception and calling his shot. Just insane. I got a safety, I got a linebacker, I got a defensive tackle, I got a nickel corner. I feel like I'm building this thing the way I would want to. My defense is loaded. Go ahead, Bob.
Oh man, I'm back and forth here on a couple plays. I think that the one may come back to me, but very rarely do we say something in the preseason sticks out to us. But after years of pining for a wide receiver here in Philadelphia, we get the drama of the offseason where T.O. is traded to Baltimore. Then he doesn't want to go there, and he forces the trade back, and he gets to Philadelphia. And the Eagles play Baltimore in the first game of the preseason. And on the first play from scrimmage, good old Andy Reid draws up, hey, 81, go long. Backyard football, bomb. I think it was a 70-some-odd, maybe a 60-some-yard touchdown to Terrell Owens. For a preseason game, that stadium was unbelievably loud on that play.
Preseason, though?
Yeah.
McNabb to T.O. You'll ask the fans what they think about that one. I guarantee
it was pretty iconic. I have to admit, there's not a better play in preseason history. I mean,
exactly.
It preseason. It was insane, though.
Guys,
and I think it was 80 yards.
Most of their
it was 80 yards.
It was a touchback, and they threw that. It was unbelievable.
It's on my list, but it got pushed down because it's a preseason game.
Yeah, it's not on mine.
Not on your list. What the hell is wrong with you?
Brian, back to back.
Preseason, baby. Shit don't count.
Abby does not like McNabb or T.O. Interesting.
Yeah, that makes sense. That tracks.
I need someone to pick the T.O. like push-ups on the driveway. That was
that is you written all over it.
That annoys me.
Oh man. Boy. There are some really good ones here. I'm gonna go with man. Let's see, this is where it's gonna like come down to be like, what?
I have so many random ass plays that I want to use.
I know, but like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna go with the Saquon 60-yard touchdown to open up the NFC Championship.
That's a great one. That's a great one.
That one was so good. I absolutely loved. Just I barely was even conscious getting into the stadium there. before it was touchdown or jumping up and celebrating. So that was certainly a great one for me.
Good pick.
Like I have some really old ones here, but like I feel like nobody's gonna like them because I mean, except for like Krabby because he was probably there. But
I'm with you, Krabby. I'm with you, buddy.
All right, I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with Sheldon Brown destroying Reggie Bush. This is one of the most iconic hits, right up there with the Crumpler hit. But unlike that one, Reggie Bush didn't have a prayer catching it and holding on to it. In fact, he was crawling around and didn't even know where the hell he was. I'll go with that. So those are my two picks.
Love it. That was an iconic play. It still makes me sick they lost that game because when he did that, man, that set the tone. I thought they were owning that game from that moment on.
Great back-to-back picks there, Ryan. That was very solid. Rob.
Yeah, there's so many plays I want to go with right now. All right, I'm going to do it. Not that I think anyone's going to pick this, but the Eagles hadn't started their turnaround under Andy Reid yet, but they went into Dallas on the first game of the season. It was 190 degrees. All right. They decided that they were going to drink pickle juice before the game. But before any of that matters, the Eagles not only start off the game, but start off the season with a surprise onside kick, which then leads to a rout of Dallas. And that was the beginning of the early 2000s run for the Eagles. And it started on that onside kick. So I'm going to go with the onside kick in the pickle juice game.
Love it.
I am also going to run up to the podium and make this my selection. I've got a few that I think I can wait on because I don't think they're on your guys' radar. Just a feeling. I'm going to go Shady McCoy, the touchdown in the snow, one of the most wild games against the Detroit Lions. The beginning of the game, like it was a straight out whiteout. You couldn't see anything. But that performance, 217 yards, 3 touchdowns, and that long touchdown run, just iconic. Just a wild game in terms of like entertainment as an Eagles fan. And I got to get Shady on this list.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Made the cover of Sports Illustrated, so it was a pretty good play.
So did mine. My last one.
I don't care.
Yep.
Ryan.
No slight, Ryan. No slight. I actually had Brown Sheldon sign that for me years and years ago. I have an autographed copy somewhere in this house. I have no idea where it is, but it's somewhere in here.
That's awesome.
I need to hang it. I need to find it. I got to do a to-do list. All right, so I'm up. So I'm going back to my mid-teenage years, and having a play from the ultimate weapon himself. Randall Cunningham escapes Carl Banks, throws the touchdown against the Giants. That was Monday Night Football too, right?
It was. His legs bent in a way that they're not supposed to bend, yet he did not fall to the ground.
That was an awesome play. And then I'm going with one. I don't know that you guys would have it on your list, but my favorite player when I was a teenager was Eric Allen of the Eagles. And it's the 94-yard interception touchdown return against Boomer Esiason. I believe Steve Sable from NFL Films said it was the best interception return he's ever seen in NFL history. If you haven't seen it, look it up. It is absolutely amazing.
And he handed the ball to the injured Randall Cunningham on crutches in the tunnel.
Yep. Amazing.
Yep.
Nice.
The last year of Rich Kotite. Good times.
Yeah. Thank God.
All right. I got Shady. I got B-Dog. I got BDN. I got some big names, but I'm going to go like David and go to one of my favorite Eagles players of all time. And I'm going to go the Brian Westbrook screen touchdown against the Minnesota Vikings in the wild card. Not only is it one of the best Westbrook plays, it's probably not the best Westbrook play, but it's the best, arguably, Merrill Reese call among this group. It's an amazing call. If you remember it, go check it out. I can pull it up if you want me to. But it's fantastic. I got to have B West on here. B West, it was like a 70-yard screen, and Merrill Reese in the background just flipping out. So that's where I'm going to go.
Nice.
Rob.
So I'm getting close to starting to look for specific players to get them on the list, but I'm not quite there. I'm not quite there yet.
Marshawn, Ryan already picked that.
Yes. But where I'm going here, if I'm correct, this was T.O.'s first game back in a Dallas uniform, and Dallas is driving down the field to score the winning touchdown, and an errant throw by Drew Bledsoe ends up in the hands of Mr. Lito Shepherd, who then decides, I'm taking it all the way. I think it was 100-plus yard INT return, scores with nothing left on the clock. And the stadium broke out in the good old famous Lito song that they sang after every Lito Shepherd interception. So I'll take
Lito Shuffle, man. I was there. That was insane.
That was great game.
Good. I remember everything about that.
When they started the game off, they did a funeral for T.O. We all gave our T.O. jerseys and they burned them.
So good. That was a great pick. Ryan, back to back.
All right. Let me take that off my list.
We're halfway and we're only 30 minutes in. We're doing great, guys. This is great.
Thank you.
64 probably is not even enough either, which is insane.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Well, after we wrap this up, we can maybe throw out some honorable mentions that's on our list. Or maybe we could do a play-in somehow. I don't know how that would work.
I don't know how that would work. All right. Well, listen, I feel like I am at that point there, Rob, where I feel like I kind of have to get people that I want on my squad, just for my own personal whatever. And it looks like the last one that I have remaining of Mr. Brian Dawkins. That is I'm going to take you guys back to it's 2000 versus Pittsburgh. It was B-Doc versus the Bus, and Brian Dawkins won.
Good one.
Absolutely flattened the Bus. It was such a great hit. He just stood him up, and I don't think the Bus knew what the hell was happening. So that's my pick there, Doc.
It's a good one. That was definitely very high on my list. That hit was so good, man. Like
it really was.
The commentators on that play are like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, they were like, "Holy crap!"
Hey, Dives, on mine, the Eric Allen pick six was in 1994 versus the Jets. Boomer was on the Jets then.
Okay.
Oh,
I got it.
I know you weren't born yet, but
let's see. Sorry, I'm just going through.
Marshawn says Jake 60-yard against the Giants. It's still on the board. Very much.
On the board. Yeah.
Elliott, B-Dog suplex. I still have another B-Dog play.
Yeah, I mean, I do have a couple, but I like that one better personally. But yeah,
it was a great one.
Or him flying through the air, but
that's a great one.
That's a really good one.
I'm gonna take. I'm gonna take this because again, I also want to make sure that I have myself a Randall play. Not that there aren't like a bunch left, but I just thought this was the strangest thing at the time. And that was Randall Cunningham punting the ball for 91 yards, which was just, I could still picture it today, just him in the end zone, just punting the crap out of the ball. You're like, wait a minute. Doesn't he normally throw that?
He was such an elite athlete, man.
He really was.
Crazy.
So I'll go with the 91-yard punt from Scrambling Randall.
And his daughter in the Olympics, like pole vaulting and stuff.
Yeah,
Like, I mean, the genes just
I think she
running
was I
rampant.
think she was an Olympic alternate.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
amazing, man.
All right, Rob.
Yeah.
Rob's running out of stuff.
It's not that I'm running out. It's that it's me questioning when do I start picking specific players, not necessarily
Deep diving.
Yeah, but I'm not going to do that yet. I got one more play that I really want to get on there, and that's going to be Super Bowl 52. An unknown man has over 100 yards receiving in that game from the running back position and catches a dime of a touchdown from Nick Foles, and that's Corey Clement, back of the end zone. Little bobble, but as Gene Steratore said, he never lost control. Touchdown, Corey Clement. You kind of figured at that point something special was happening because Corey Clement was catching bombs in the end zone.
That play broke Chris Collinsworth too. Absolutely broke that man.
There's a guy.
I'm going to stick with the same game. Give me the Alshon Jeffrey touchdown, back of the end zone, where he tore his rotator cuff for crying out loud, and still held on to the ball. Phenomenal catch and moment. And it's Nick Foles, got to go there. So
over Eric Rowe too, like our former guy, right?
Yeah.
I got one.
I love that.
All right, David.
All right, I am going to go with my favorite Eagle of all time, and that is Reggie White. Have to get him on the board and go with his sack and 70-yard fumble return versus the Redskins. And when was that, 87, 88?
87.
That was
87. It was 87.
It was 87 versus the Redskins.
Have to have Reggie on the list. And then I'll go with another layup just because if you can identify a game with one or two words, I'll go with the double doink. Everybody knows what it is. They made shirts. I mean, you got to go with it. So give me the double doink.
Nice.
Dibesy.
Oh, man. Now it's getting difficult.
My difficulty is I have too much left.
Yeah, I got like 40 plays left.
Yeah, same, but I just don't know which ones I want to use.
Right.
Me neither.
All right. I'm going to continue my trend. I'm trying to stay balanced between offense and defense. And I got my first favorite safety ever. I'm going to go with my second favorite safety ever. Give me the Malcolm Jenkins hit on Brandon Cooks.
You son of a bitch.
Setting a
That's
tone.
a classic.
Super Bowl. I love Malcolm Jenkins, man. I think a lot of Eagles fans do as well. Still upset he left. Where's my – oh, there it goes. So I feel like also people will be picking that. Marshawn Ertz's play went to Rob very early. That's been gone. Go ahead, Rob.
That play was classic, though, the fourth down conversion.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. All right. I'm just gonna go to one that has if for no other reason I just need it on the list of 64 that are voted on. And it's Miracle at the Meadowlands too. It's Brian Westbrook's punt return, which was late in the game. The Eagles offense struggled all day. And I think there was under 2 minutes remaining. He goes up that left sideline and nobody catches him. And another great Merrill call as he ends the call with, and this place is in a state of shock. Like just a great line, great Merrill line. I was at Towson University. I was watching that game at home and had to drive back to Towson that day and got pulled over by a Giants fan.
Oh,
yeah. He let me go.
Okay.
All right.
Right. Back to back here. By the way, that's not an official Miracle at the Meadowlands, but
yes, it is. It's the second one. It's literally the second one.
I mean, if according to you, it should be the third one.
No, you used the other two, you jackass. You picked the other two.
I'm saying chronologically because you're forgetting one in between Westbrook and the first one. But anyway.
That other one doesn't count.
Oh, okay, right. That one doesn't count.
None of us knew about it till 2 weeks ago.
Incorrect. Incorrect. You jerk face.
Jerk face.
All right. Do I have anything from the Super Bowl? This Super Bowl, I don't. Kind of
It's
feel like
embarrassing. It's embarrassing I didn't have the Westbrook punt return on my list. I don't know how that happened.
Wow, that is embarrassing. You should be. I'm gonna go with Hurts to Devontae Smith
With one.
over Patrick Surtain.
Shit.
Nice Denver Broncos.
I was at that game in Denver.
Yeah.
It was unreal. I think I broke something because like I jumped and injured myself, but I did not care. Let's say Devonta over Surtain.
Ooh, the Garrett Blunt mention. That's interesting.
Oh wow,
I like it.
that's a good one. And let's see, do I have another one? I'm going to go with the Milton Williams strip sack and recovery in the Super Bowl versus the Chiefs. He did it all on one play and then said, show me the money. So, Milton Williams.
And they did.
So good. That's a great one. A lot of people love that play.
So, there you go. Rob, you back up, buddy.
Shout out to Jalen Carter, like crushing Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, that was great.
Amazing.
Well, I have not picked a Jalen Hurts play yet, and I got to pick one. And there's still a few on my list, but the one I'm
So
going to
many
go
on
with,
my list.
the one that I'm going to go with is in what ended up being a forgetful season. The most iconic moment of that season happened the week prior in a game for the ages against the Buffalo Bills.
Oh, nice.
They are back and forth, but in overtime, after leading them down the field, the Hurts touchdown and kind of that stand in the end zone, that iconic moment for him, I thought. And we all thought at that point, like, oh, man, this team's just going to find ways to win. They didn't the rest of the year. But that moment itself was a tremendous moment that I'll always remember from what was a really, really fun game to watch.
That was such a great game. I just remember it just being real cold and
rainy
and just miserable and just.
All right, I'm on the clock here. Let me know if this is on your guys' radar. And this was really high on my list, and I've been sitting on it for a while because we're picking the best plays of all time. And not many times do plays become a storyline, and a storyline that literally takes over an entire offseason of not just between the fans, but the players and the coaches. Do you guys remember the time the entire 49ers threw a hissy fit because they threw a backup tight end to block Hassan Reddick, who completely wrecked Brock Purdy and took him out in the postseason? And all we heard for the next months and months and months was, well, they didn't have Brock Purdy. Well, accountability is a real asshole. And I'm going Hassan Reddick destroying Purdy. So give me Hassan Reddick.
Love it.
David, back to back.
All right. I'm going to go with a play that kicked off the entire Super Bowl season, the year they won it for the first time, and that was Jake Elliott nails the 61-yard field goal against the Giants.
Yep.
That kind of set the tone for the entire season. I think it gave everybody belief in the team. I remember Wentz was on the sideline saying he was going to give Jake his game check if he made it. I hope Jake did get that money. Never heard confirmation on that, but he definitely deserved it that day. And then I'm going to go with another play that is a personal favorite player of mine. I love cornerbacks, so I'm going with the Green Goblin, Jalen Mills, defending Julio Jones in the end zone to end the divisional round game.
Yep.
Nice.
Because that game right there was the only hard game they had on their path pretty much to getting that Lombardi trophy. And the whole stadium just stood there with holding their breath, just waiting.
Yeah.
And then when you saw it go towards Jalen and Julio, you're just like, oh my God,
I
they
think
lost another
everybody-
championship game.
Yeah, I
was
think
right in
everybody
front
said
of me.
F.
But then you
Yeah.
saw the finger wag swag, boy, he comes running out the end zone. It was awesome.
Yeah. That was directly in front of where my seats were on the goal line. That was
Oh, that's awesome.
nerve-wracking.
That is awesome.
All right, Debs, you up again?
Now I'm getting nervous because I have some that I'm not sure if you're going to pick or not. And should I go with them or should I stick with my heart or should I? I'm going to go with votes. Give me the Cooper. Give me. I mean, we all said during the preseason of 2024 that the Eagles would be judged against the Baltimore Ravens, and one of the biggest storylines, if not the biggest storyline, after the bye was Cooper DeJean. And not only did Saquon cement himself as a potential MVP, but I thought Cooper DeJean really on the national stage cemented himself as one of the top cornerbacks in the NFL, and him taking down King Henry, becoming the King Slayer, was such an epic moment for this defense and going forward. So I'm going to go Cooper taking down King Henry.
I tell you where I'm going here. It's a regular season game. It's actually the second play I'm picking from this game, but I don't have a play at Devontae Smith. And his touchdown catch against the Jacksonville Jaguars this year, go back and watch it again.
That's a great one.
Go back and watch it again because his foot skills on that touchdown catch, catching the ball with one hand, was absolutely ridiculous. One of the best catches I've seen an Eagles receiver make. So I'm going to take Devontae's TD against the Jaguars.
My take is, after making all these clips, is Devontae Smith is going to have one of the greatest Eagles highlight reels of all time.
Yeah.
There are so many great plays already, like 10 deep, easily, that we even forget that are incredible. And there's a few still available on my list. Ryan.
I'm going to go with Dallas Goedert with the triple stiff arm versus who was that? In the wild card game versus the Packers. That was just such a people were talking about that for quite a bit. I just absolutely loved it. And then I'm going to go with the Jalen Hurts. His 2-point conversion in the Super Bowl versus the Chiefs.
Good one.
I thought that was pretty indicative of Hurts as a player. And just, dude, he willed that to happen and just powered through and got to tie up the game. So Hurts, 2-point conversion.
The guy I'm about to pick, obviously, it ended so bad people hate him, but it didn't mean that he didn't have incredible plays in that 2017 season. And that's Carson Wentz. Made a bunch of plays before he tears his ACL. One of those plays was when he decided to become a magician and pop out of a hat when you couldn't even find him, as he's in a scrum against Washington on a Monday night. I actually believe that's the game where we lost Jason Peters and Jordan Hicks. Both went out that game. But he comes out of that pile, runs for 20 yards. I just remember being in the stands, not seeing him, thinking he was sacked, and then him running down the field for 20 yards and a first down. That was one of those athletic plays that he made time and time again that season. So I'm going to give Carson Wentz a vote. I know people are not going to like it, but let's not forget about the positives that guy had in that one season.
Go on.
Phil says Rob's got his favorite player ever, 4th and 1 and 2. I'm going to go and continue to fill out my defense. I've got safeties, I've got corners, I've got edge rushers, and I'm going to go with a relatively meaningless game. Rob, you touched on the Devontae Smith touchdown, which was incredible. But I'm going back to that Jacksonville Jaguars game, and I'm going to get Nakobe Dean's game-winning interception in the end zone, where him and Zach Bond embrace, and what that meant for the Eagles linebacking core becoming just game changers in 2024, changing the narrative. Get well soon, King. Nakobe Dean had a terrific season, and that was arguably his best play of 2024.
Nice.
So at this point, after Dives makes, or after Ryan makes, no, after after Dave makes this pick of this round, we each have 3 picks left.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
I gotta start figuring some stuff out here.
There's definitely going to be some great plays that we're not.
We're gonna need a 14 play-in. We're gonna need that to get the 68 teams and have the play-in tournament.
We might. This is crazy. There's so many good plays that I guarantee you, Dives is going to pull some weird crap out of his hat. So it's gonna be even more.
I have some really fun. I have some really like
on the field and made a play.
I have some really. Come on, B-Dog went pretty early. That went in the 4th round. Anyway, yeah. David, back to back.
All right, I don't have Jalen Hurts on my list yet, so I'm going with him breaking ankles versus the Saints in 2021.
Great
Good
round.
one. Good one.
And then I am going to go with, after many, many years of abysmal play, Andy Reid finally gets the Eagles to the playoffs after a year. And Hugh Douglas absolutely wrecks Sean King at the beginning of the Tampa Bay wildcard game. And they just throttle them to win. I think that was the first playoff win they'd had since the Lions in like 95. So it had been a long stretch without a playoff win. So give me that Hugh Douglas. Hugh.
That's a good one. I don't have Jalen Hurts on my list. That's insane.
Oh, no.
There's one play that I can't believe.
There's one really good one still left or actually yes, all Hurts. Yeah, there's only one.
One really iconic one left though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't pick it. I got too many other things.
Was it Corey Detmer kicking his little feet when he broke his arm versus?
Or when he did.
That's terrible.
When he did the weirdest dance of all time, where he was slapping something.
Yeah, the little legs were just flopping like this.
I'm going with my heart. My last 3 picks, I'm going with my heart, and these might be out of left field. Yeah. We'll see how the voting works with this, but
I got 2 out of left field in my last 3. So
I think one of my most memorable moments of 2024 goes back to a defensive play, and it wasn't anything greatly meaningful, but it was one of the moments where you're like, holy shit, like this guy is as elite as it gets. I'm going Jalen Carter calling out Sam Cosmi and saying he's light on his hand pre-snap. The ball gets snapped. Carter beats him, gets in the backfield with a club swim, strips the ball, and forces the turnover. Give me Jalen Carter forcing the turnover on the Washington Commanders. If you ever seen like the behind the scenes of that play, kind of not unlike Zach Bond, or like it's just madness. It's just shows you how elite of a player Jalen Carter really is. So that's where I'm going is Carter kind of like plays chess against Sam Cosmi and forces the turnover.
All right, sticking with the idea of going with your heart, I'm going to pick a play that I guarantee Ryan and Dives do not really pay attention to. David, you might remember this one. It wasn't that long ago, but it was iconic to me as a younger kid in high school, this play. The Eagles are down in Dallas. They're winning a game late. I believe it still was Troy Aikman at quarterback, and he's leading them down the field to win the game. And on the final play, it's intercepted by linebacker James Willis,
Great.
who runs along the sideline, laterals it back to Troy Vincent, who takes it the length of the field and score. And I'll give you another. Most of these moments stick out to me because of Merrill. It was the Eagles win, the Eagles win, the Eagles win. That's how he ended the broadcast. But that play, I can remember watching that game, and it was just like, the Eagles were not a very good team. Dallas was a better football team, and to get that pick in Dallas, and I remember Jerry Jones's face, and it might have been a Barry Switzer coach team, if I'm thinking correctly.
It was. Was that 96?
Yeah, mid-90s. I would say mid-90s.
It was 96 versus Dallas, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, my God. That moment was one of the more iconic ones for me growing up.
It was Vincent who ran it in, right? Troy Vincent?
Yes.
Yeah,
104 yards.
Yeah, 104 yards. And when they made the call, they incorrectly didn't say it was Troy Vincent. I forgot who they said it was. And then as he was getting into the end zone, they're like, "Oh, my apologies. It was Troy Vincent." But that was shit. Damn, Rob, you definitely just sniped one from me. It was easily one of the ones
I've been waiting. I've been waiting.
That was a good one. Listen, this one. See, man, my heart tells me one thing. My ability to win tells me another. Because I feel like these might not be the greatest for winning, but they're so iconic for our history. But maybe I'll wait just a little bit. But I'll go Jaws to Mike Quick for the 99-yard touchdown.
That's a good one.
That's the other one I had on my list.
Longest play from scrimmage in Eagles history.
And it won the game. That was an overtime touchdown.
Yeah, exactly. So that's got to be one. And then I got two left. Snap. There's so many good ones. Well, all these ones are not going to be there. All right, screw it. I got to take one of the best players that we've ever had. I got to go with the Chuck McNarick championship saving tackle, 1960 versus the Packers.
Yeah.
It looked like, again, the last play of the game, and it looked like all was good. And then they throw the ball to the screen to the running back. He makes a couple people miss, and then everybody got freaked out. And then here comes Chuck.
And
Chuck just came up, stood him up, and then sat on him. I was like,
time ran out.
I'll let up when it's all zeros. So yeah, I gotta go with a little Bednarik action to win the 1960 championship versus the vaunted Packers.
I'm gonna make this pick real quick because now my daughter needs me to call her. So I'm gonna go back to old school. I'm gonna go back to Randall and his cartwheel touchdown against the Washington Redskins. Where he almost actually lands on his feet from the cartwheel. He almost did a full cartwheel over a human being and scored a touchdown. And then I will be back.
Okay.
All right, I'm on the clock here. I don't know if this has been picked already because I know a lot of Jalen Hurts plays have gone, but I got to get a quarterback on this list. Besides BDN, and I'm going to go Jalen Hurts. And the top play that I have on my ranking, I'm going to the Minnesota Vikings game where we've seen a lot of like tush pushes and like, yeah, you could probably squat 500, 600 pounds. But the run against Minnesota where he literally takes on 5, 6 guys, 6 defenders and carries them into the end zone. That's where like, he's probably right. He probably can squat 500, 600 pounds. That play was just symbolic of his refusal to lose mentality. Give me Jalen Hurts.
Love that. That's a good one. All right, David, your last two picks there.
All right. For the first one, I'm going to go back to 2008 on the last day of the season when 3 or 4 crazy things had to happen. Tampa had to win or lose. The Raiders had to beat somebody for the Eagles to make the playoffs, and they had to beat the Dallas Cowboys, and they absolutely throttle them 44-6. And give me Clemens rumble for a touchdown. He picked up a fumble, ran at 73 yards to get that party started.
Yeah.
And the Eagles secured the playoffs, and very unlikely went all the way to the championship game and were 2 minutes away from going to another Super Bowl with Andy Reid if it wasn't for a little defensive slip there against Tim Hightower against the Cardinals in the championship game. But hell of a play there from Clemens. And then, man, the last one.
What were the last two plays picked, if you wouldn't mind?
It was the Hurts run versus Minnesota, and then it was the 44-6 game 2008. Clemens returned the 73-yard touchdown versus the Cowgirls.
Dawkins forced 2 in that one.
My last one is a play that wasn't even completed. Like it didn't even work. But it is so iconic to me, and it was Jalen Carter trying to catch Patrick Mahomes' spike. That absolutely blew my mind, and because he almost had the damn thing. I mean, it is just unbelievable. So every week now, I just wait for him to get one of these damn things. But
that'd be great. I
will never forget that happening, even though he didn't catch it. It just blew my mind seeing a 300-pound man dive like that to go for us.
Yeah, and all of a sudden he was down, and then he just was like,
yeah. And the way he got up laughing, like looking at it, it's like I almost got your
ass.
Yeah,
he was exactly. He was like, I'm gonna get you,
Man.
All right, Dives. Here we go.
I don't even know.
Early.
I don't even know. There's so many. I have at least 10 left. But I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with my heart yet again, and I'm going back to Brian Dawkins. I'm going to go the play where he knocked the F out of Michael Vick in the 2002 playoffs. Michael Vick went on record saying that was the hardest hit he has ever taken in his career. And I feel like I'm just going for votes. I think people are going to vote for that. B-Doll crushing Michael Vick.
It's tough right now. It's tough because there's one play that my heart wants to go with, and then there's one play that say, well, you don't have this player on your list, and I just don't know which way to go here. I'm going to go with the heart because I am going to try and talk you all into letting us all pick one more for a play-in tournament with 4 games. Listen, the Eagles had made it to 3 NFC championships in a row, and they're playing the Falcons. And there were so many iconic moments in that game. And this one may not rank up there with people, but it was the moment I knew the Eagles were going to the Super Bowl. And it's a late touchdown pass to Chad Lewis, who ends up breaking his foot on the play because it got stuck in the turf. But I can remember that happened in the end zone right in front of me. And I can remember looking at my father, who didn't go to many games. He never went to a game after that. He stopped going. He didn't like going to the games. But we were there in the stand. He looked at me and said, we're going. That moment pulls on my heartstrings. So that one, I'm going to go with the Chad Lewis last touchdown against the Falcons to solidify the NFC Championship.
It's a good one. Nice. DJ, 4th and 1, stopping the Cowboys is already picked by Rob.
Yeah, that was in the second round. Jesus. It was like 5 hours ago. Actually, we've been doing pretty good.
We are. This is great.
Man, this is tough. I have literally, 7? I have 14 on my list.
Yeah, I still
so 50 out of the 64 that I had on my list was already been taken. And man, there's some really good ones on here. I really don't know where to go. But I feel like this one is maybe the most popular. I could either go recency bias. I could go most popular. I think I'm going to go most popular. And I'm going to go Vic to Deshaun Jackson, 91-yard touchdown, 2010 versus the Cowboys.
Ryan, when I tell you I was between Chad Lewis and that play, thank you for putting that in the field. Thank you.
I was between Dawkins crushing Vic and that play. That was it.
Because
Okay.
that was the D-Jack falling backwards into the
Yeah,
end zone.
exactly. Where he
Choco.
just was like, boom.
Oh, that was great. That was great.
And
All
again,
right.
it makes the Cowboys. It's great. So
Tremendous.
Why don't we do this? We're gonna wrap this thing up. We'll throw it to each person what they think of their team, and then we're gonna throw it around the horn. Best pick, worst pick, and your thoughts on everyone else's teams. David, lead us off, man. What do you think of your squad?
I like it. I stayed pretty balanced. I went with the few older ones. I didn't go like 1948 Steve Van Buren old, but
I thought about that, but I was like,
Yeah.
nobody's gonna be like, what the?
I considered it.
but I got what I truly do consider the most iconic play in Eagles history, and that's the BG strip sack. I really do think that's the best play in Eagles history.
Cool.
I will just make an assumption that my worst play is going to be my Jalen Carter tries to catch a spike, but but I literally will never forget that. So I just stuck it on there.
There you
Plus,
go.
something has to be the 16th seed. So what can you do?
Right.
Yeah, the fact that the BG strip sack went to 4, that's pretty wild. That's impressive
Yeah.
how deep this thing is. Anybody have any thoughts on David's squad?
No, I mean you sniped me for a couple of picks.
Yeah.
I mean you got one of my favorite in-person plays, and that was the 4th and 26th.
Yep.
Yeah, the Wilbur Montgomery one I really wanted. Was really hoping that was going to come back to me.
I don't think the double doink's going to do well.
Yeah, I would assume not, just because
I don't know.
when I think about it, when I saw it originally on Rob's list when I was making mine, I was like,
You
was
made
it
fun
really? Like, it's nothing that our players did, you know what I mean? So I feel like if you really think about it, it's not really a great play as far as like we just happen to be the result of dumb Chicago luck, you know?
That makes sense. I think one of my better ones is the Saquon touchdown head slapping snow run.
Yeah,
versus
that's
Oh,
the
that's
Rams.
so good, man.
One of my
So
favorite plays for this year, for sure.
And honestly, I think the field goal, the Jake Elliott field goal, because that
Oh,
was
yeah,
kind of
that's true.
the kickoff point for that season, and kind of put Jake on the map. From that point on. If you remember, he had missed a field goal earlier in that game, and Jason Peters came up to him and said, "Hey, shake that shit off. We're going to need you. We're going to need you." And then,
Well, I'm not sure if he said it so nicely. I think he basically said, "Hi, see me."
I tried to dumb it down for the show. There's some kids out there.
Hey, what do I always say, Rob?
I know.
Krabby, we're going for best like Eagles plays and moments. It'd be hard to like put the tush push.
I don't know how you could do a tush push because there's
I
not
don't know.
one that sticks out. Honestly, the only one that sticks out to me was when they didn't do a tush push and DeAndre Swift ran it in for a touchdown. You know what I mean? Where they actually handed the ball off to him against the Redskins.
Or what about the one versus the Redskins, the Commanders, where they almost
With Frankie
awarded it?
Louisville.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I'll go next. Obviously, I show my bias. I'm definitely going for W's. I'm going for. I've done a lot of these drafts, as Rob knows, and people always vote based on Twitter's young. It's a young crowd, and I think they're going to vote for the newer plays, and that was kind of my MO at least the start of this thing. But overall, I think this draft represents me pretty well, to the point where I wanted a lot of great defensive moments, and those are always my favorite things to do. Like when I'm making the all 22 videos and getting highlights of Coop and Q, and I love making those highlights, and they're always my favorite plays, regardless of the year. Anybody have a best or worst play on my squad?
Let me take a
You
look at that.
sniped me
there.
for the Carter sack on Stafford. That's I was going that next, so you got me on that one.
You going for the dagger? That hurt me. Getting the dagger early. I gotta say, it was. I think we all love Nakobe Dean, and it was a nice play by Nakobe Dean against the Jaguars. I just don't know if I would consider that top play all time material.
Okay,
If that makes sense.
that's fair.
If that makes sense.
Hey, listen, I love me.
For me, it was like a linebacker making a play in coverage. What the hell is that? Like, yeah,
Great
you're right.
play. It's just tough for me to see. I think that's a lower seeded play when we break this down.
I'll say that too about the Hassan against the San Francisco 49ers. I get it. It definitely deserves to be in the conversation somewhere. I just don't know about that.
This was iconic though. That was just a great moment.
Yeah.
Oh, the tantrums that pursued after that.
Well, sure, yeah.
Yeah,
it's
the
just
tantrums.
amazing.
I feel like that certainly added to it. But if you take that away from it, I feel like it's,
It took
His
off the
gladiator denial made the moment awesome to me. I just loved it.
well, true.
All right, Rob, what do you think of your squad? Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited. I think I got some old plays. I got some couple newer plays. But I think we forget that early 2000 run up until now was just one of the best runs in the history of the Eagles, and there were so many plays and players that come out of that. But people forget that Randall Cunningham was no one had seen somebody like Randall before. Like, he was the beginning of that type of quarterback, and he had so many. So I got a little bit, and I'm thrilled that I got Chuck Bednarik knocking out Frank Gifford.
Yeah,
I'm
that's a good
thrilled
one.
because of the iconicness of that photo. I think even the young voters will know that play because that photo has stood the test of time almost as much as him smoking a cigarette out of one side of his mouth and a cigar out of the other, which is the most badass thing I've ever seen. Don't smoke, kids. That's not what I'm saying.
We have a comment saying Ryan took the gold medal, Dibes took the silver. Rob and David have an overtime match for the. What we're going to do, DJ, is we're going to throw all these into a bracket, and they're going to be individual matchups, 1v1.
Yeah.
And we'll keep track of how many of us here have W's and losses. But for the most part, the plays will be the center stage.
Yeah, our goal is to figure out what people think is the greatest play
Right.
in the history of the Philadelphia Eagles.
And it'll only just be for us, moral victories.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Like on the side
moves on.
to talk trash. But
Like,
I think overall,
if Ryan's play wins, you're going to hear about it for a full week.
yeah, no, at least.
Okay, first of all, no, you won't, because I do this all the time.
Jesus Christ.
Ryan and I dueling mocks all the time, and and then I throw our mocks for voting who had the better Eagles mock, and Ryan just destroys me every time.
He drafted 7 linebackers the one time I did it with you guys.
I probably did.
All right. Any thoughts on Rob's squad before we
Yeah,
go?
Listen,
Here we go.
I need to say the TO preseason one. I get it. It was the moment was great, but it was preseason.
Were you in
So
that stadium?
you can't tell me that the TO preseason whatever was the
nationally televised preseason
top
games on
25
CBS with
play?
Jim Nance.
Is that a top 25 play?
Oh, were you in the stadium that night?
Yeah.
Do you remember how friggin' loud that stadium was?
It was insane for a preseason game.
No, it was insane, period. The fact that it was a preseason game made it even more iconic.
I don't know about that.
No, there are a couple plays in there I'm not crazy about, but that's not one of them. That's actually one of my favorites.
I respect it. You having the backwards hurdle, they should make that like the symbol of the NFL, in my opinion. Like, that's so iconic. It should.
That's so good.
Yeah, the fact you got that one is crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
Rob, you have like a lot of iconic, like not even just the TO preseason, and that was a great moment. I still literally remember where I was when that happened.
Yeah.
But the backward hurdle going to the 3rd round, that's insane.
Yeah,
that
it is.
has a chance to go to the Final Four championship. Like,
it might.
Yeah, when you talk about recency bias and the amazingness of that play, it's got a chance. That one's got a chance.
And I love your Lido pick. That's a personal favorite of mine.
Good one, yeah. I love it too.
That's a really good one.
I think the Wentz one's going to get buried because people are just going to.
Yeah, but that was such a great. I had that high on my list too.
Yeah, but I think what's going to happen when people start to vote, they're just going to see the name Carson Wentz and have negative thoughts. Same thing with the Hurts touchdown. Like,
I love that play.
I thought about that too. That's why I didn't pick any.
There were 2 other Wentz plays I kind of wanted to put, but I didn't do it because I was like, there's no way people are going to vote for Carson Wentz.
I had
Yeah,
a higher rated Carson Wentz play that we'll get into after this.
Yeah.
I have one too, 73-yarder.
Where he like beats the pressure and like twists and throws it deep to, I think, was it Aguilar? I forget.
Oh, that one.
No, that one for a touchdown against Watts. That was the first game of the season.
Yeah,
that was a big one too.
Then was that? Wait, no, I thought that was Arizona.
The one I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about. I just
it was against the Washington Redskins where like he beats pressure.
He breaks 2 tackles.
Yeah, and then the squares up and then throws a bomb to
the one against Arizona was a crosser that Nelson Aguilar then makes like 3 juke.
Yeah, that's right. I was talking about the Darren Sproles 73-yarder.
Yeah, against Pittsburgh.
Where he just kind of like gets scrambles and then lofts it up, and then Sproles does the rest.
Yeah,
there's a lot of good ones.
And look, the other one that none of us put on there was he throws an unbelievable touchdown on 4th and goal on a torn ACL. That Alshon Jeffrey makes a one-handed catch reaching behind him. I mean, that play was big. That was his last throw of the year.
The one throw in the end zone, I think it was Miles Sanders.
Yeah, that one where it just was. It couldn't have been anywhere else. For that was
It was like, wasn't he falling down or something like that? Like, I don't know.
That was against Seattle when he's falling down and he's literally laying parallel to the ground. And fires one to Nelson Aguilar again. That guy was on the end of a lot of.
Dude, we hated him so much, but man, he really was on the receiving end of some good ones.
Yeah,
I tried, Rob. I tried my best to get some Jalen Reagor things on here.
Unlike Aguilar.
The only Jalen Reagor play you could have got was when he returned the punt against Green Bay when they benched Wentz for Hurts.
No, I think it would have been the training camp play over the whatever.
The Colts. That was a preseason play. Look
no, I'm talking about literally in training camp.
Yes,
where he catches a one-hander over some corner. Gotta remember who it was. It might have been Slay at the time. I can't remember if they sunk up, but and then we all were like, "Oh my god, this dude's a stud."
You all might have said that. I was looking at Minnesota going, "Oh, look at Justin Jefferson."
Yeah, well, I was too. I wanted him bad. But anyway.
Yes. Rob, you have reminded me many times. Ryan, what do you think of your squad?
Listen, I just kind of went with the plays that I liked, honestly. I'm glad I had a couple of the Victor Deshaun Jackson bombs on there. I'm glad I have some miracle plays. I have some big hits, some good defensive plays, some iconic plays, and listen, I think if you look at it, probably the Goddard triple stiff arm might be the negative one out of the bunch, but I don't know, man. I just really like that play, so that's kind of why I picked it. But yeah,
I love your 2-point conversion one. I think that was one of the toughest plays ever, but the fact they lost the game probably hurts the freaking value of it.
Probably, but again,
that was so freaking good.
He willed them to a tie ball game. It
was insane. And if he had got the ball back, he'd have willed him to win.
Yeah, I don't doubt that at all. The man knows how to win.
Yeah.
Ryan,
speaking of, can I just say, have you seen it's a clip now of Pete Prisco on
don't get me started
on PFT for
he's the worst.
And the dude in the back, the program director, or whoever the guy is.
It's their Philly guy. It's their
he's the Philly guy.
He eats him up.
He rips him a new one because
well deserved.
Put Dak and Baker Mayfield ahead of
Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah,
Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah. And he was saying, well, if you tell me who would I'd rather have in the next 5 years, I'm taking Baker over Hurts. And the guy's like, you're a moron. Like, it absolutely tears him a new one. You haven't seen it. I highly recommend it. Anyway,
I haven't seen it. I'm definitely going to check that out. All right. Ryan, I thought the middle of this draft, you nailed it. The Saquon run against the Commanders, amazing. Sheldon Brown hitting Reggie Bush. That was really high on my list.
Yeah.
Love that play. Dog flattening Jerome Bettis, phenomenal. Awesome play. The punt, I mean, I love those were all like big plays that were at least high on my board.
Yeah.
I'm curious how people vote for the Mike Quick touchdown. But outside of this, like you got a great squad, man.
I wanted that Mike Quick touchdown. I mean, you're talking about a 99-yard play in overtime,
right,
to win a game. It's pretty special.
And to get it so late. There were a few times where I was like, how is this not taken?
I was waiting.
Like,
I had my last two plays that I wanted to pick were the James Willis interception,
which I wanted too,
and the Mike Quick touchdown. They were the last two I wanted.
Yeah, they were good though.
Quick was my last one as well.
Yeah.
All right, let's go through some honorable mentions before we start wrapping this up. Does anybody have?
You mean the 14 playing? You mean the 4-play playing?
I don't know, how would you make that work in a 64?
So you would just take 16
you do what
versus
the college basketball does.
Yeah, you would just take the 16 seed versus whatever one we're about to say. The winner of that is the new 16 seed.
Done. Let's do it.
We could do that. We could do that for 2 of the 16 seeds if we want.
We could do it for all of them. We each pick one. It'd be fine.
All right, we're just doing one.
Yeah, everybody pick one extra, and this one will play the 16 seed. That'll be the first matchups, and then it'll be 16 versus 1.
Game on, Ryan. You're on the clock.
Oh, snaptastic. Shiza. Okay, nobody knows. I'm going for something that people would actually know.
I know.
I'm going totally left field on this one, and I don't care.
I'm going to go with Josh Sweat. Picks off Dak Prescott right in front of his freaking face, stiff arms him, and runs it in for a touchdown. 2002 versus the Cowboys.
So good. That was a good pick. Rob.
Shit, man. I got like 5 plays I'm looking at.
I know.
I only had one, and then I looked down and I'm like, oh, damn. This pains me. You know what? I'm going recency bias for my last pick. Jalen Hurts run in the playoffs against the Rams. First drive, and all of a sudden, he takes the ball and it's gone. Like, it breaks a tackle and just goes. Like, It was unlike it. Like, none of us expected that. So I want to throw Hurts' run against the Rams in there.
That's good, man. I'm going to go with. It was a tough year. They lost the division that year. Had the lead over Dallas, but looking at my squad, I don't think I have any Dallas on this list. So I'm going to go with one out of left field that is another memorable play that I'll never forget. And in honor of the late great Darius Slay, when Darius Slay made it. You know what I mean?
Pittsburgh.
All right, P. Slay.
What happened? Somebody look up.
We miss you, D. Slay. But when he made Dak Prescott flip in the air, that was a fun moment live. I think, that we'll see how that does with voting. I don't even know, but I miss Darius.
I like that. That was a good play. I remember that one.
Yeah, it was with Zach Cunningham. He had a little help there, but great D. Slay moment.
The one that I don't think was picked that I had higher than even the last two that I went with is a play that I truly believe the Eagles do not win their first Super Bowl if this doesn't happen, and that's the 4th down conversion to Zach Ertz in the 4th quarter with just a few minutes left in the game. I mean, they don't pick that up there. Brady gets the ball back at the Eagles 40-yard line.
No, I picked the touchdown. This was the 4th down conversion earlier in that drive.
Nice. All right.
Yeah, Brady gets the ball back in a tie game at the Eagles 40-yard line. Yeah, it's not looking good if they don't make them. That was one of the biggest play calls in Peterson's career.
Yeah. DJ says the craziest part is the Eagles have as many memorable plays against them as they.
I was going to say we could do this as the worst plays in Eagles history and still.
Oh, that would be horrible. That'd be brutal.
I've already thought of about 20.
Honorable mention. I'm going to throw out 2. Then you guys can throw some. The Lane Johnson touchdown catch was awesome.
Yep. Yep.
And I'll throw out Jerome McDougal destroying Eli Manning. Does anybody
Oh my
remember that one?
God!
He turned his
That
head
was-
into
that
a
was,
bobblehead.
his first game, right?
Yeah.
Literally
he looked like a
destroyed his
bobblehead.
soul. Yeah.
Oh, how did we forget? That was iconic at the time.
Yeah, he totally
Jerome
wrecked
McDougal
him.
didn't do a lot, but that hit was awesome.
I need to
I
say
got
the Jason Avant one-handed catch.
Oh my
goal.
God!
Yeah,
That one was disgusting. I'm surprised I didn't say it earlier.
I can't believe I didn't. Jason Avant's one of my favorite players ever.
The Clyde Simmons blocked field goal for a touchdown versus the Giants 10
stunned
years
that didn't
after
get
the miracle. Steve Van Buren's game-winning touchdown and then 48 championship. Obviously their first one.
One of my favorites is Terrell Owens' touchdown versus the Ravens, but it's iconic because he mocks Ray Lewis's intro dance move, which is just awesome. But
I got a few here. How about Freddie Mitchell's catch in the playoffs against the Vikings, where it bounces off of his teammate and he comes diving out of nowhere to catch it, and then thanks his hands for being so great.
yeah, that's a classic.
Hurts to Zacchaeus against Buffalo.
Yeah,
where he rolls to the left.
That was a great throw. That's one of his better throws.
Yeah.
I was against the Bucks.
Keanu Neal kicking the ball to Torrey Smith at the end of the half.
Yeah.
That divisional game that leads
off
to
his
a
knee.
field goal.
The best throw of Wentz's career to Miles Sanders.
Then I have two random ones that no one will ever think about. One was a Monday night in Green Bay, and McNabb hits Todd Pinkston with like 40 seconds left in the game in the corner of the end zone to create they were not. Green Bay was so much better than them, and they won that game. And then the year that was just horrible, Nick Foles, it might have been his rookie year, but they win on a walk-off touchdown in Tampa in 2012 to Jeremy Maclin. That I remember that because it was a cool moment in an otherwise very forgettable season.
Oh, yeah.
I have two touchdowns from AJ Brown. One was where he beat the two defenders against Pittsburgh and like pointed at them.
Yeah, it's a classic.
Yeah,
classic. And then the other one was a one-handed touchdown catch against
Commanders?
Washington.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like even Merrill Reese had no idea he caught that ball.
I mean, listen, you still have. I still feel like we have to mention the 45-yard touchdown in the Super Bowl for AJ. The Malcolm Jenkins 99-yard pick six versus the Patriots. I have Miles Sanders 74-yard touchdown run 2020 versus Pittsburgh. Sidney Brown's 99-yard pick six in 2023 versus the Cardinals.
I got a couple.
And then Randall's diving 17-yard touchdown run 1990 versus the Packers, where he's like this, this far off the ground.
How about Jay Ajayi's first TD run against Denver in a route?
Yeah, that was great.
Where it looked like you could run faster than him?
No, that was against Dallas when he got caught.
Oh, wow.
The one Super Bowl touchdowns.
Who was the last Eagle to return a kick and a touchdown? You know who it was?
Yeah, Huff.
Josh Huff, 107 yards versus the Tennessee Titans.
How about this one was on my list, but no one would ever vote for it. It was the Keith Byers hit on Pepper Johnson.
Oh my God!
Yeah. Watch Pepper Johnson on the screen.
No idea. Oh. Dude, that's so good.
He's so high in the air after he gets hit.
He's gone.
Well, who was it on the Miracle of the Meadowlands 2, the Deshaun Jackson version? Was it Avant that laid the dude out and then like knocked himself out?
And that was the great Joe Buck. Gets a block. That was more than a block.
It was more than a block.
Beheaded a man.
Yeah, he really did. Knocked his ass out.
All right. So
why did you say Jukeway Parker? Good Lord.
I don't know. What did Jukeway Parker do?
He had that 44-6 game that David gave to Chris Clemens, Brian Dawkins on back-to-back possessions as Dallas is driving forces two fumbles on that drive by himself. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, dude, he was.
Yeah, that game's insane.
I think that interception or the forced fumble was one of the that was hard because I wanted something from that 44-6 game, but there's not a lot. Like it is so much.
It was just them beating him down.
Yeah, it was great.
Wild.
Yeah, let's wrap it up. David, thanks for joining, man.
Had fun, man.
Where can the people find you? What do you got going on?
You can find everything at PHL Eagle News. Everything I do for Philly Sports Network or Philly Cover Corner, I post it all there. I expect to get throttled as I always do when I am the guest on this show, but I still think I got the best. I think I got the best play ever. I think the BG strip sack is going to win this thing and be number one. So I might not have many good seeds, but I think I'm winning the entire tournament. So we'll see.
Very,
We'll see.
very,
Very
likely.
possible. Very possible.
Yep. Rob, final thoughts?
Yeah, this was a lot of fun, man. I'm looking forward to kind of breaking this list down and seeding this thing the right way, and going from there. This was a lot of fun. I was really looking forward to it, and I'm looking forward to discussing this each week and actually showing the play, breaking down the play, us talking about it and all that. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yep. Ryan.
Yeah, I'd just like to say I'm really mad at myself for not picking this play and then being able to show the picture of it. But still, nonetheless, this is such a fun idea. I'm glad that Rob's out of the walk-in closet there, and this is good. This is going to be a lot of fun, and what's going to be great for us is the individual matchups for each one. People may not, know it, but we'll know it, and we'll be like, oh, it's it's me versus you this week, like. So it'll be fun to see where this all goes. So,
yeah. So what the plan is here, they're going to be like versus short. So it's also going to tie to our community page here on YouTube where you're going to vote for which play is the best. We are going to put this into a 68 seed bracket. We just lost Rob. And it's going to be a lot of fun. And you're going to vote for who has the best play ever. We'll see what the upsets are. We'll probably do it live, like react to the selections and did they get it right? Did they get it wrong? But we're going to put out as much content on this as possible.
Are we going to do like a 32, 16, 8, Final Four?
We should.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, we should do like a Sweet 16 reaction.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right.
A recap or like make predictions. Like upsets, like upset alerts, like our predictions and things like that. That'd be really fun.
Sounds awesome.
Yep. Feel like for whatever reason, Party on Broad shows are getting longer and longer without actual game
trying. At least we didn't say, hey, at least this is going to be a short one.
Now we're just a bunch of hot air.
Guys,
I had The Godfather on the background and it's already ended. So yeah, this is going pretty long.
That's messed up.
The good news is the Houston Rockets are amongst a ridiculous comeback on the Sixers.
What are they doing? Winning?
I don't know. They were just up like 20 plus, and now
Grimes not know the memo.
No, he's
trying to get the memo. He's just trying to get a bag next year.
Yes, he is, and he's going to. But anyway, again, David, thanks for joining PHL Eagle News.
Thank you.
Does amazing work for PhillyCoverCorner.com. Dude, the stuff you put out there, I don't know if you're allowed to tease it or what, but like amazing stuff, just amazing stuff. If you love data and analytics and Eagles and free agency. And then we'll be live tomorrow night, Birds of the Round Table at the Eagles Pinpoint Network, 8 p.m., talking for Eagles free agency and all that kind of stuff. So, guys, thank you for watching. Be on the lookout. We're going to throw this into a bracket. I don't know when the voting will get started. I don't know if it's going to wait. Maybe we'll start it this week. We'll do the play-ins or something like that. We'll see. We'll see. Or we do the reveal with the bracket. I don't know. We'll figure that out. But anyway, thanks for watching. He is Ryan Reese at Philly Sports PSA. Rob Lange at Philly_Madness. That's David at PHL Eagle News. Thanks for watching. Go Birds. Stay awesome.